Hello and welcome to the Devoted Outdoorsman Podcast. Finally, it is the weekend. I am so excited to have a couple days off of work. I probably shouldn't say stuff like that because I'm pretty sure my boss listens to this podcast. But, every now and then it's great not to have to go into work the next day. I hope you guys had an awesome week and you loved last week's podcast. If you did, please go leave me a review, man. Go check it out, leave a review, hit subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, or on Google Play. Wherever you guys choose to listen to the podcast from, go make sure you subscribe. So every week when I download a new episode of the podcast, you will automatically get it on your phone. So this week on the podcast, guys, we have Jeremiah Vostad. I'm sorry if I butchered that, man, but I tried my best. So he is going to be on the podcast this week, and we are going to talk about his company, JV Hunting. They make some pretty cool price point scopes. He's got a couple scopes out there on the market. He's got some fishing lures on the market, and, he's an all-around good guy. I found out about Jeremiah on Facebook. I was cruising through Facebook, and I found his site, and I was checking it out. I was doing a little bit of search. I ended up messaging him. We ended up talking a little bit. And we decided that it would be a good idea to get him on the podcast. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how he got introduced into the outdoors, and then we'll switch over and talk about JV Hunting, the company that Jeremiah runs. With all that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into the interview. I hope you guys enjoy this week's podcast. Here we go.
Well, I grew up in the outdoors. I'm from South Dakota. Farm kid, hunting was just a way of life. Everybody hunted in my family. Obviously South Dakota is known for pheasants, so we always started with pheasants when we were younger. The way we do things, we don't take our meat to butchers either. We do it all ourselves. I've loved it my whole life.
Yeah, man. So I think like a lot, especially people that are brought up in a hunting family, a lot of times that, it's something that's passed on. And, a lot of the things that I do with my podcast is to share our love for the outdoors with people that weren't necessarily brought up in the same ways that we were, because like you said, you were brought up in a family that were hunting and fishing. That was just a way of life for you. And, there's a lot of people in more suburban areas that aren't introduced to the opportunity of the outdoors. And, that's kind of why I'm here. I want to make sure that everyone gets that opportunity if they want to. So going forward from there, how did you kind of start with the idea of your company that you got going on there?
Well, actually, I go and do, crazy hunts. I go to Texas, hog hunting. I've been to North Georgia sleeping in a tent up in the mountains bear hunting. I just like doing crazy hunts and stuff like that. And my kids, my older kids, they were like, you should start videotaping these and putting them on YouTube and Facebook. So I went and bought a video camera, and actually it was kind of a disaster, trying to learn how to do it. Our first hunt, we went down to Hill Country, Texas, that we recorded, and it was a complete bust. But I still put it up on YouTube and Facebook. But ever since then, it started growing. YouTube never took off, but Facebook sure did. I don't know why it went that direction, but I guess YouTube's kind of clustered with hunting videos. But as I started getting bigger, I actually had a scope company approach me, and can't say the name, but they're not a well-known scope company, and they wanted to sponsor me, so they sent me some of their scopes, and I hated to say this is one of the reasons I won't say their name. It was junk. There was no way I was going to sponsor that. There was no way I was going to put my name anywhere around it. And they were overpriced. And I was like, I could make a better scope at a better price. I know I can. I used to be a machinist. I went to school at Lake Area Tech in Watertown, so I know how to make up blueprints. I know how to do all that stuff. So the hard thing was finding someone to get together because I don't own a factory or anything like that. So hard thing was trying to find a factory. And I ended up, I made a million phone calls, sent emails trying to get a hold of people. And I finally got a hold of a factory, and I got together with their engineers. We drew a blueprint, and then we got some test models out. Yeah, it it was quite a work. I started this a long time ago, but I finally kind of opened the doors, 2.5 months ago. Now I'm just trying to sell them.
Yeah, man, I was checking out some of the scopes online, and they look to be like a pretty good quality scope. Are they made in the United States?
No. There's only one scope company that's made in the United States, and that's U.S. Optics. And they start out at like $2,000 a scope or something like that. They're a very good scope, so.
Yeah, but like I see like the scopes you're making is more of like a price point type scope for like the average person. So like US Optics or like Night Force, companies like that, or even Vortex. Vortex has some lower first focal plane scopes that are semi affordable. And but when you get into like the Night Force or the US Optics or there's another one I was thinking of a minute ago, can't remember the name, but yes. You get into those, you're exactly what you're saying, man. You're talking, $1,500, $2,000 for a scope, and the average person doesn't need that. So when I was checking out your product, man, I liked the fact that when you order it from you, it comes with the sunshade. It comes, you have the illuminated reticles, and you already have a turret set up on it, and I feel like that's a pretty good product that you have going there. If you want to talk a little bit about it.
Well, that's actually kind of what I was planning, is I wanted to give, the guy that goes and buys a Ruger American rifle or a Savage Axis, he just spent $350 on a rifle. He doesn't need to go put a $500 to $1,000 scope on that. He's just going to take it out and try and go shoot a deer. But I also wanted to give the person, some cool features that you would get on some of those more expensive scopes that you're not going to find on, some more of the name brand scopes that are more in my price range. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one in my price range that has like locking turrets, return to zero. I've looked at, some of the other name brand ones that are in my price range, and I can't find one that has those features. There may be one out there, but I don't want to say the name brands and the stuff because, I don't want to call them out. But so yeah, I was trying to throw in some of the cooler stuff. You can buy a cheaper scope, but it still looks real nice on your gun, and it's still real simple to use. Plus, I'm a big hog hunting, predator hunting. That's why I put the illuminated reticles on there, because I do a lot of it at night, and I don't use thermals or night vision. I still use red or green flashlights. So, and I know a lot of people still do because they can't afford $1,000 to $2,000 on up for night vision and thermal. So it's a lot cheaper to get a flashlight and a good scope. That's why I guarantee my products. My scopes are cheap because you're getting them from the guy who made them. You're not going to find them in Cabela's or Shills or Bass Pro Shop when you're getting them wholesale from the guy who makes them. That's why they're cheap. Plus, I stand behind them because I designed them. I tested them. I know their quality. So that's why I give the 2-year unlimited warranty. So even if you break it on accident, I'll replace it. And then a lifetime limited warranty. If the scope ever malfunctions in your whole life, send it back to me. I'll send you another one. No questions asked.
And that's I think that's a pretty good warranty system that you got going on there. And like you're saying, the direct to consumer type prototype of product companies is becoming more and more popular. because of, how the internet is set up, there's, you can, instead of having to go deal with the big box stores or like local sporting goods stores or whatever it may be, you can do a direct to consumer type website like yours, and you can give people the discount instead of, some big company making the money off of it.
I wanted it that way. For one, it's more personal. When you call my website, I answer the phone. Nobody else answers the phone. It's me. That way, I said I designed them. I personally worked with them. I can pretty much answer any question anybody's going to have. And I feel it's just more personal that way too. That way, I get people to call. They order my scopes, and next thing you know, we're talking for 30 minutes about hunting trips we went on. And I'm making also a lot of good friends doing it that way. And I like that. Hunting community should be a close community. It's the way I feel about it.
Absolutely. And, with hunting and, certain things that are happening in this, this world right now, more and more every day, people are bashing hunting or bashing outdoor sports. And, we got to really stick together. And I feel like you would support something like that with your setup.
Oh yeah, very easily. I am 100% supporting the hunting community. I mean, that's why I try and do as much good as I can with what I got. I mean, I'm definitely not one of these other name brands. I don't have the resources they have. But I do what I can. I sponsor a hunting group. It's called the Brit Bear Company. They are a non-profit organization that takes cancer patients and cancer survivors out on hunting trips with them and stuff, and they pay for it all. And like, they just took a 10-year-old cancer patient out on a coon hunt and stuff like that. So yeah, usually that's a no-brainer. I'll sponsor somebody who's doing something good like that. And plus, I gave a few scopes to be auctioned off down in Tennessee at a veterans banquet. And I also gave a few scopes to missionaries trying to raise money to go on a mission trip. But yeah, so I donate to things that I find are important. Plus, it also helps support the hunting community. When you go to a veterans banquet, not just like hunters and stuff go to veterans banquet, but they see a hunting company is supporting veterans. It helps give a good outlook for hunters. But, then it also comes with a bad side of it. I probably every day get somebody asking for free stuff. Every day almost. And so I have to try to weed out the bad ones from the good ones. And I obviously can't give away too much as I'm a small company. Pretty much do it all myself. Plus I'm still working a more than a full-time job at nights.
Yeah, man. So I that was my understanding of your company. Is like when I was kind of doing some research, I saw that that you've donated some scopes to nonprofits and charities and stuff like that, just to kind of help people. And that's one thing that kind of drew me into wanting to do this podcast and kind of get your name out there a little bit more. And so people know, man, that you're a nice guy, you're straightforward, and you help people out the best you can. And that's something that not everybody is open to do in this industry today.
And unfortunately, a lot of them can't. It's also kind of a crowded, scope land, thankfully, for everyday hunters. There's only, 3 real big names. And I'm just trying to be the 4th. I mean, I said there's the big top dollar companies out there, but they're not the average hunter's scope company. But I make my fishing tackle, my frog baits and stuff like that too. Even as I got into that, I tried to pick stuff that isn't overcrowded market. Like, that's why I make the pike and musky lures. because there's not a huge pike and muskie. You know, when you go to Walmart, it ain't full of pike and muskie lures. And frog bait, there's really two big companies that make frog bait. The other reason why I went with that one, because I get people that are like, why don't you make walleye lures? And I'm like, because that's all there is out there. It's walleye. I mean, that's what you find all over the shelves is walleye lures and crappie lures and stuff like that. That's a crowded market.
Yeah, for sure. So you're just trying to find your niche in, you know, the outdoor industry. So not only are you making these scopes, which seem to be a great product, you're kind of venturing off into the fishing industry as well, trying to find a niche where you can fit in. I feel like there's definitely a place, and you know, if you keep working at it, I think it'll all work out for you, man. So as far as your scope line goes, you only have one model, correct?
Yeah. Right now I have the 3 to 12 by 42 and the 4 to 16 by 42. They're pretty much the same thing except for the zoom, and that's it. It's the only difference between them. The 3 to 12 is a little shorter. I kind of designed it because I kind of figured the 3 to 12 more for the short action, like, you know, 243 and under, and the 4 to 16 for more long range, long action rifles, 308, 30-06, 270, stuff like that.
Going forward, do you have any plans for introducing any new models or anything like that in 2018?
Actually, I'm working right now on a 6 to 24 by 44, going real long range with this one. It is definitely in the works right now. Pretty much waiting to sell enough of the first scopes to be able to really fund getting these into mass manufacturing, because it costs me a lot less if I can make a bunch of them at once than to run a really short production line.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure you get quite a break when it comes into, you know, buying, you know, let's say 1,000 of them at a time or something like that.
Well, it's not even that, because it's my design, but yeah, I have to pay for a certain amount of time pretty much for the factory, because they got to pay their workers and stuff. It's kind of how it works, but they make me pay in certain increments. So if I can have them punch out 500 of them, well, they can probably punch out about 500 in the same time slot that if I had them punch out 100 of them. So I would get the same price for 500 as I would have to pay for 100 as a, it's kind of weird how it works. I learned a lot getting into the scope company.
For sure. I bet there was quite a bit of a learning curve getting into it and everything, learning how everything works and manufacturing and everything like that.
Yeah, as I said, I was a machinist before, and I worked on the worker side for years. Which is say, my wife says I better make it because I put a lot of money into starting this out.
So do you have any, so you say you go on these extreme, you know, type hunts. Do you have any big hunts planned for 2018?
Oh, I'm working. I'm so busy right now. I've been invited everywhere. I had a guy invite me to come down to Florida and go shark fishing. I've talked to 3 guys that want me to come check out their brand new hog places. My buddy Bill Moore down at Three Boys Ranch wants me to come down and go axis deer hunting with him. Got a bunch of stuff I can go do. It's just, I am really running out of time, because the good thing is, yeah, I'm busy. It's not like I'm making $1 million, but I am, you know, fulfilling orders pretty much every day, keeping me real busy, as I said, plus I still work a full-time job.
Yeah, no doubt. And what did you say? You have 7 kids or 6 kids? So that's a job all in itself right there, man.
Yeah, 6 kids. My oldest one is a senior, so I get to throw one out this year.
No, well, there you go. You know, that'll help a little bit, maybe.
No, I'll have to pay for his college.
I'm glad that we could take some time to get on the podcast and talk to you today, man. I really appreciate what you're doing in the outdoor industry. You're kind of, you know, you're the direct consumer setup. You know, you're kind of helping people save money while trying to help yourself at the same time. And I think that's awesome. Also, thank you for helping out with all these foundations and the nonprofits and everything that you've been out there helping support, helping them either fund money for, like you were saying, the cancer patients, or, whatever it is for those nonprofits. Because like I was saying a minute ago, there's a lot of companies that aren't interested in stuff like that. And I feel like once people kind of get to know you and, know your brand a little bit better, that'll definitely be something that helps you out in the future.
The one good thing I can say is I have not gotten one bad review yet. Not one. Everything's been completely positive. I said I'm enjoying it. I said I love hunting and fishing. Love it. And now that I get to talk hunting and fishing every day, it's really a dream come true. Only thing is I can't wait till I can quit my regular job and be doing this full time. Then I can probably squeeze in a few more hunts every year. Next one may be going to Mississippi. My buddy down there, Tim, at the Fin and Feather Lodge, he wants me to come down and he's got a private bass pond that, well, it's not even a pond, it's a lake. But he wants me to come try my products down on his lake, and I think I may have to take him up on the offer because I could really use a vacation.
I think everybody, at certain points in time, you can definitely use a vacation, especially with everything you got going on with, working and the kids and the company and everything, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely a blessed man. That's why I want to do good with what I got. Feel completely blessed, and I want to use it to help other people. And I said I'm loving the friendships I'm making. Like, I've met you. I've met people all over this country now that I would have never met before. It's a great thing. I'm having a heck of a good time doing it.
Yeah, it's definitely a great opportunity once you get your foot kind of in the door of the outdoor industry to meet people that, have similar stories to you or have similar ideas in their plans for, the outdoor industry or their company or brand. If you want to plug your company, like your YouTube page or your Facebook and stuff like that real fast, we can go ahead and do that.
All right. Well, Facebook is easy. Just JV Hunting. That's my page. And I'm actually doing a giveaway on there right now. Go there. I have the giveaway pinned to the top of the page. I'm going to give away a free Bear Cruiser Light Bear bow to somebody's child or grandchild or niece or nephew. All you have to do is like the page and then comment the age of the child in the post. And then my website is www.jv-hunting.com. And my phone number is on there. My email's on there. If you have any questions, don't ever hesitate to call or send me an email.
All right, man. Well, I really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to come on and talk to me a little bit about your company and bring awareness for the what you're trying to do.
Hey, thank you very much. And maybe next time I'll come down there and we'll do it in person now.
Yeah, no doubt. That could be fun. Yeah, man. Next time you come down this way, give me a shout. We'll see if we can get together and do something.
All right. Sounds like a plan, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, guys. So I want to go ahead and apologize for the audio quality on this week's podcast. There was something going on with my program, and it kept shutting down, so there's a lot of spots where I had to splice in stuff that got missed. So I'm sorry about that, and I will try and make sure it never happens again. With that being said, make sure you guys go check out JV Hunting on Facebook, or even check out Jeremiah's website. He's got some pretty cool products, and you should definitely give it a chance. So I still haven't got out to check my trail camera, so I don't know if Tank or Buster or if any of the bucks from last year even made it yet. It was raining nonstop here in Oklahoma, and then I got busy. Family life, soccer practice and work schedules and everything got real hectic. Hopefully I will get out next weekend and check out my trail camera, and I'm hoping that Buster or Tank will be on that camera. Make sure you stay tuned, because as soon as I get my trail camera and put that card on my computer and find out who made it through the season, I will be posting pictures on Facebook to let you guys know that my boy, Tank or Buster, made it through rifle season. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Devoted Outdoorsman Podcast. Please go take a few minutes of your time and check out the Devoted Outdoorsman's YouTube channel and the Facebook page. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And, if you have a spare moment or two, write out a little review. It will help me out tremendously. So until next time, guys, please enjoy your weekend, be safe, and come back here next Saturday for another episode of the Devoted Outdoorsman's Podcast.